Alright everybody, I am back talking about some more COD. So I'm going to be focusing on Plunder. And for those of you that love Plunder, it's all about collecting that cash money. So as you can see it in my background right now, Plunder is similar to Rebirth. However, the main difference is your focus is on the money. Too many times players are, landing and they feel like it's like Rebirth and they got to be shooting everybody. You got to kill people, but the main thing is collect your money. This is a game about competition for getting to $1 million first. So when you look at the map, you're choosing your location where you want to drop. The key is to find the best places, and I have some tips as to where you might want to land. So when you're dropping for the first time, a good area for the drop zone is kind of where you think the most cash would be, which is usually in I believe it's the boneyard where the airplanes and all that stuff is. So make sure you find some place on the outskirts and kind of work your way in. Too many people just drop in the middle of all the chaos and all the crazy stuff. They get shot when they're trying to parachute down. They have the most happen. Sometimes you're dying before you even get to collect. It's a race, okay? That's the main thing that's different from Rebirth. When you drop, it's a race to collect money, whereas Rebirth or Resurgence is a race to survive the gas. So getting all your supplies, getting all your armor, killing targets is a number one in Rebirth, just because you want to, stay alive, right? That's what it's about, survival. Plunder is about collecting as much cash as possible to get to the target of $1 million. And even when you hit $1 million, you can still have overtime. They usually allow that. So what you and your team need to do, stick together. But if you're going to spread out, make sure you're collecting money. As soon as you drop, get a good gun, but also try to collect as much money, because there's money all over the place. It's completely scattered. So look in the nooks and the crannies and try to pick up that cash money. And when you pick up that money, when you get to a certain quantity, usually over 80,000 or even over 100,000, try to get a balloon drop. So when you're there picking up, opening boxes and you're trying to get all your guns and ammunition and all that good stuff, try to keep picking up as much as you can, because you need a drop balloon. Because when you have a certain amount of cash, and I've seen this, if you go through the channel, you will see some of the footage where some of the teammates I have don't focus on picking up a lot of cash and dropping it. They just think that they pick up the most cash they can and then whatever happens. No, you pick up a certain quantity and then you contribute, meaning you deposit it. So you need the balloon for that purpose, and then you deposit the balloon and then it adds to your total. Because you're useless if you just pick up money and then you're just running around the board, because it doesn't accumulate to your actual total score, right? So you want to try to get in the number one spot. But the only thing is, when you get to number one, you are a major target, meaning you're identified on the map. So now with Plunder, just like the new Resurgence, the new version of Plunder means that your lobby is filled with about 100 people. So you're not going to have those odds before where you had maybe about 40, 30 people scattered. It's double. So this is the new update from Call of Duty, which has allowed the board, so to speak, to be more full. So you're playing against more opponents and it becomes more action-packed. So it can be good or it can be frustrating, but the idea is you have more people on deck. Okay? So when you drop, again, tip number one, get a good gun, but pick up as much money as possible and make sure you have drop balloons for that cash. So that's important. Okay? Your teammates, they need to actually have some knowledge of the game. That's what makes you advance faster, when your teammates know the skills. So the strategy that I like to use mostly is to go fast. So you need to open up as much boxes as possible, still have a good gun, but you need to pick up as much as you can. And that is the whole point of this race and objective to getting to the number one spot. Collect as much cash, but you need the balloons and you need the resources. Okay, so you need the armor, you need to be protected, because once you get in the number one spot or in the top 5, you become a bigger target and more people start watching you and they want to attack you and take your money. Okay, that is huge. So you need to have your priorities straight. Okay, so when you drop, choose a great drop zone. When you drop and land in that good zone and collect all that money, make sure you have your armor plates and make sure you have a good gun. Okay, make sure you're also being mindful of your team. In the bottom left corner of the screen shows you your teammates, their health, and also how much money they've collected. So if you like to talk on the headset, sometimes it can be distracting. Just tell your teammate, look for a balloon. And if you're also, collecting balloons and stuff, tell your teammate where a balloon is, because they're going to need to drop that cash. Because that meter, as to how much you collect, it accumulates only when you make a deposit, not when you're doing, the regular gameplay and you just have all that money on you. You're vulnerable. You're a liability to your team. Because if you get killed and you get robbed, then one of your players is going to have to try to avenge your death and come and kill that person in order to recuperate the funds that you just lost. So it becomes more chaotic. But speaking of revenge kills, I love doing that. Revenge kills are fun. So usually if I have a lot of money and I don't make it to the drop balloon to be able to drop it off, what I do is I do the revenge kill. So I mark usually who I just got killed by, and I return to the scene of the crime, so to speak, and I try to collect the money again. So that's an important skill and a tactic to try out there on the board. If you die by the hands of somebody who took a lot of money from you, have that revenge kill and go back to the spot and collect that money and take the money that they had on them. That's a way to recuperate money fast and get a balloon and get it up in the air. So best places to hit up cash, covered that. Teammates, the chemistry, and also teammates that leave early, nah, that sucks and you suck. Don't join the game when you have 2 players that rely on you and you're just gonna boogie early. That is a no-no and you suck for that. So try not to do that. Stick it out as long as you can. It helps your teammates, right? Helps with the mental part of creating the strategy. Priorities, collect money first, kill targets, but defend yourself. So just remember that. Armor plates and your health, be very mindful, because the weaker you are, the more vulnerable you are to losing money and creating problems for your team if you get shot and die. Because then, unless your teammate is there to collect your money for you or defend your death, they're going to have to avenge it after. A lot more work. And revenge kills, always encouraged. So that's my piece, guys. Team Gotchi, keep watching. Click subscribe. Hit the notification button, and you will be seeing a lot more videos from me, hopefully giving you some more tips and tricks that are going to help your gameplay with Call of Duty. All right.